Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. I'm a friendly tree and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Nina Williams in Depth. Today I want to talk about Nina's move called Easy Prey. So, before we do that, just make sure your settings are all correct. So I'm happy with everything I've got set here, but we don't want any misinformation while we're learning about a move or while we're labbing anything. So what is Easy Prey? Easy Prey is a 3-hit string here, number 51. His input is down 3 4 3. So I guess it's Easy Prey just because she's an assassin, she's a target. It's a move relating to her hunting her opponent. Where she also has a lot of moves about, like, I guess snake related things too, doesn't she? So that's what the move looks like. It's a 3-hit kick string, low, high, mid. And you can see that the final hit hits them over the head. First hit is 16 frame startup, -3, but if we look at it, it's -17 on block. It only does 12 damage, which, I mean, in the scheme of lows, it adds up pretty fast, doesn't it? It's not bad damage-wise for what it is, but it's risky. Thankfully, it's got extension, so as well as Easy Prey, she's got down 3 4, so the low into the high, and she's got down 3 2. Which is a -13 launching mid, so there's a bit of a mind game there at least. But you've got to be cautious when using this move because it's a generic down 3. So a lot of characters have this down 3. Kazumi's a common character that you would have seen this in the past. But Nina has the advantage of having an extension after it. So for example, if the opponent tries to challenge, they block, they press a button. As long as it doesn't high crush, they'll get counter hit by the second move. And the second move is essentially a magic 4, as you're probably noticing. It gives the same knockback, same combo potential. But it's a bit tricky because to get it to work, you're often going to be at range. Or you're going to have them pressing a button. Yeah. Anyway, no sense continuing on that. So the second hit on its own is -6 on block, +5 on hit. So not quite as good as a magic 4 in that regard, but property wise it's quite similar. And it's pretty fast. There's no way for them to step or anything there. All they can do is duck. Actually, hold on. Can they attack reverse if they block? They should be able to, yeah. But on hit they can't. No. The third and final hit of this, this overhead kick. So you can see it does an extra 20 damage, meaning this whole string it does 50 damage on normal hit. +5 on hit. It's also got 2 active frames. So remember the first move is 16 frame startup, second is 20. Final hit is 29 to 30, so 2 active frames, and that second active frame probably helps with its tracking a little bit. If we once again go here, the second hit on block, oh come on Nina, no. So we saw the plus on hit, it's also +2 on block and forces crouch. So both situations force crouch. Unfortunately, it's steppable. Nina can step it both directions, but not every character can, and this move is weaker to the right. I'll go into that a little bit more detail in a moment, but let's talk about the range first. So the first move doesn't have a great deal of range, but it has enough. So I think it's about 2.25. Yeah, about 2.25, and that's pretty good. If the second hit hits, the first hit should reach at least. If we go a little bit out of range of the first hit, you'll see the second hit has slightly more range because she advances forward. And the third hit, of course, has a lot of range. But because it's part of a string, the only way to do this move is as part of a string, meaning it's very telegraphed. So you've got to be careful with using this. Before we go on to the stepping a little bit more, I showed the first hit as a counter hit launch. Sorry, the second hit's a counter hit launcher. and the follow-up will always hit there if you do it. Yeah. Don't know why I'm pressing an extra kick there, but yeah. And that, of course, that'll cause a floor break. You can see on the properties there, it causes a bound mechanic, which means they can hold back to get up. And if they don't hold back, you get guaranteed hits. Like that. So it can be useful to use because of their knockdown and because of the floor break properties. But we generally don't use it in combos too much. As well as the second hit being a counter hit launcher, the third hit is too. And it's actually, you get a lot more than it looks like, because you have enough time to do like a 20 frame move. You can do, you can do while standing for, come on. While standing 4 if you want. There, you get it. So there's a lot of combo potential from this move. And that comes in especially handy because the final hit will trade with a 10 frame. So if they try and press a button, and it can even be a low crush or something, then yeah. With the stepping, I should also mention, it's only on block. So if you get hit by the second one, you don't have a chance, you can't even do an attack reversal. No one can step it, no one can do anything. So if you can tell that second hit is going to hit, then you've got it. She can also do it off a magic 4, so she can do 4-3-4-3, and this used to be a special input in Tag 2 that was used as her tag assault at the wall, where you do 4-3 down neutral 4-3. That was the only way to get it. Or sorry, it was 4-3 down 4 neutral 3. Yeah. But that's just 4-3-4-3 now, and that on its own doesn't have much relevance because it's too telegraphed with that bit there, which is essentially a can opener, isn't it? Standing can opener. No. The other thing, that of course is not, sorry, that is only a natural combo on counter hit, I believe. Yeah, so the whole thing is never going to be a natural counter combo or a natural combo. The only situation would be if the second hit is counter hit, the third hit's guaranteed. If the first hit is counter hit, the second hit's guaranteed. So good to keep that in mind. Like I said, on the hit of the second hit, they can't do much about the third hit, but otherwise, let's go Heihachi for a sort of a moderate build character. On block, they can step it. So if I step left with Heihachi here, he'll get hit. And you can't walk it either. But if I step right, then I drop the punish. Yeah. So it's risky if people know to step right. Heihachi can step it right. Anyone can step it right, except for the bears. Some people say that Jack and Gigas can't step it, but let's just demonstrate with both of them quickly that both of them can step it. Yeah, so easily step it. And obviously Gigas, it's the same deal. So they can't step it left, but they can step it right. And if you're learning to verse Nina, you just need to get into the habit of stepping this right. Because if you're not a small, like a female character, generally stepping right's what you have to do anyway. Oh, sorry. Yeah. But if we go to poor little Kuma. Poor little Kuma. Poor little Kuma. No way he's got a winning matchup here, in my opinion. Suddenly, this becomes a real threat against him. First off, left, no luck. Right, no luck. So what he can do is he can either just block it and take the -2, or he can power crush through it. But obviously, as a Nina, you could just do like a... It's probably not even going to work. Anyway, what I was trying to demonstrate is you could just do the down 3-4 on its own, bait the power crush, and then punish it. So, yeah, poor bears don't have much of a chance here. It's very threatening against them. Okay, let's swap back to Nina. That's right. And let's go on to application. Alright, Easy Prey. How do we apply this move? So it's another string. It's a stringy move that really beats people that don't know what to do about it. But the second they know what to do about it, it becomes pretty useless. Useless isn't the right term. It becomes a lot less effective. So, as I showed before, they can step it left or right if their character allows, but sidestep right is stronger or more consistent. That being said, it does still have its uses. So first off, the way you can use it is you can test your opponent. But if they know it's coming, then they're just going to sidestep and launch you for it. If they're familiar with it, then they're just going to sidestep and launch you for it. Or they could even duck the second hit. So you do have that mix up there. And often what I like to do is I start by pestering just with the down 3. So I know it's -17, but it's a good range. It's a good range. It catches stepping. So it's a good sort of lockdown move for Nina, despite the risk. So you can see here, so it's a good sort of lockdown, and because of the pushback, it doesn't really have pushback, but slight pushback, it sort of puts you in a good range where you can kind of bait things on hit. Obviously, if they're blocking and punishing it, then it's much worse, but that's where, like I said, if you do that, they press a button, the 4 hits you, and likewise, you've got the mid option. So you can kind of look there and see how they react to that. If they do like a fuzzy duck, it might be worth throwing out a down 3-2. If they just stand there and take it or try and backdash after it, I'd keep poking until I make it obvious, and then they'll try and punish it and I'll get the 4. But the whole string in itself, I would seldom use in the neutral unless I'm testing the opponent or I'm versing Akuma. But even then, I would not use it against Kuma very often. And please don't mix up Kuma with Akuma. Do not use this much against Akuma. Use it against Akuma the bear or Panda. So if you use it based on your opponent's knowledge in that scenario. Other situations where you might use this move, why am I key charging, is sidestep 1+2. So sidestep 1+2 is of course a move that can give a very high reward for what it is. Oh, I can't get it. Oh my god, come on tree. Come on tree, what's going on? This way? Yeah. But a lot of the time that stuff's tricky to get. So instead people run up and do this. Which you can see is 42 damage. It does flip over for Oki, but 42 damage. If you go in for damage and you don't want to drop it, you can do things like a forward 1+2 or down 3-4-3. The advantage here, of course, is it does cause a floor break. So on something like Infinite Realm, whatever the floor break stages, so the tire one and the multiple floor breaks, this is a very easy, consistent option to get a consistent combo against, well, when you land a sidestep 1+2. That's probably the main scenario I'd use it in combos, outside of wall hits. And we'll go to a walled stage soon. As well as the bears, we need to think about situations, matchups where this move is even more useless. So obviously, if you're using it right, when you throw it out, the opponent should not expect it. but some characters may have options that just completely negate your use of this move. So, for example, Ling. I did it the wrong way, sorry. And we get Wedding Nina. So, if I do this on Ling, she's got to move faster than 10 frames, so she can just use that constantly. And I mean, she can get good pressure from that if you... Yeah. Anyway, she can get good pressure on that as well. So she can really negate your tool with that. I'm pretty sure it will whiff if you do this though. Yeah, so that's the mind game there, you can make it whiff. Likewise, something like Jin. Jin might try and parry this, and if he tries to parry it, he ends up actually being very negative. So, first off, oh come on. Oh, they didn't even punish. They should punish. Oh, come on. At the least. Here we go. But obviously if you do that, that's a punish. So you gotta be careful there. The last example I'll do here, well, we're gonna scroll up. Obviously something like a 2D Fighter EXDP will go through it, so you got to keep that in mind too. But Yoshimitsu's an interesting one, and I think Yoshimitsu's always a strange matchup for Nina. I should do a whole video just talking about Nina vs Yoshimitsu. But let's say we do this. I'm sure you all know where I'm going with this, because he can still sidestep. I'm pretty sure he can't sidestep left. Yeah, he can sidestep right. But his flash won't actually work here. So I actually think this is a good situation in this matchup if you don't think they'll step right. Now it can still work if you're in no sword stance. So you got to keep that in mind. Because see how it's 8 frames, 6 frames, so it's slower, but as long as it's faster than 10 frames, a move will work in this scenario. And Yoshi just needs the range. Yeah. So yeah, I'd be careful about using it there. Or more, just be careful what stance he's in before you throw it out. So the next thing to talk about is the wall. So let's go to our favorite stage. So this is actually a common wall hit I see a lot of players use, and there's a good reason for this. I apologize in advance for the loading times, but you all know this stage. You know what I'm dealing with. So, for example, I talked about before that. And then I don't even know what you do off that. Right, we're not doing that, we're doing the easier one. Boom, boom. So I guess we're doing something like probably while standing 1, 1 plus 2. Down 2, 3. Down 2, 3 will be a good one. I should really be more familiar with this stuff. I don't often do this combo, I just know it's an option. Yikes, what do we do off there? I thought it was down back 2 initially, but clearly I'm wrong. This is a learning process for me. Probably does a forward 3 actually. Let's just do a forward 3. Nope. Ugh. 4, 2, 1, 4. I'm just trying to remember tailspins at this stage. Maybe a delay. That looks like it'll work, won't it? Anyway, it flips them over. Nah. Maybe forward 2, down 2, 3. Last try, okay? No. No, I don't want it to be the last try. What about... Okay, I reckon it is down 2, 3 actually. Let's do it just down 2, 3. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so down 2, 3. Then we got our combo from there. That's fine. The main time I would actually use this move would be at the wall though. So let's say you carry someone to the wall and you do a proper combo. Whatever you do. That's the most common wall break we do. The problem is it can be a bit inconsistent at times. And I'm not going to be able to demonstrate it because I'm not good at replicating this. But let's try. It is inconsistent. Sometimes you'll have the ivory cutter just completely whiff. Other times you'll have the first hit floor break randomly and the second hit whiff, and your opportunities afterwards change. But a consistent option, down 3, 4, 3. Consistent. If they're too low, that'll happen. But if they're not too low, you get that. And you have the same Oki, same opportunities after it. I hope that might happen. So it's a good substitute for the down forward 3 to 1 plus 4 or down forward 1 to 1 plus 4, just because the 1 plus 4 ivory cutter can be inconsistent. So keep that in mind, and yeah. How can we get it to replicate? Maybe it's just too many hits. 4. Let's do 4 of those and see how it goes. 1, 2. I need like a technical difficulties sign. Yeah, okay. I can't get it to replicate, but I'm sure you're all familiar with that bug at the moment. So down 3, 4, 3 is a good substitute there. And that's a common situation I'd use it actually, because if I'm unsure if this is going to, or if the ivory cut is going to work, which I'm always unsure, then I'll probably run up and do that instead for consistency. Because if we look at the damage, 37, right? Oh, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Oh, come on. 37. So really you should be doing that anyway. It's just a more consistent option there. So if you're going for a floor break at the wall, I'd definitely opt for that. If you're going for something mid-screen, I'd opt for taking them to the wall, because you're Nina and you should really do your best to get them to the wall before you break. As you saw before, I was not very familiar with what to do if you get a break mid-screen, and that is because I don't really go for it, because usually you can get them to the wall. If not, I'd rather use the positioning opposed to getting them flipped over in a funny position. Anyway, that's my opinion. There's always validity in doing other things, and that's the joy of this game. Application-wise, I think that's everything I can talk about with Easy Prey. So let's go on to the summary. Nina's Easy Prey, or down 3, 4, 3, is a 3-hit low-high mid string comprising of kicks. The first move starts in 16 frames and is launch punishable on its own, but there is also a mid follow-up, and if they try and challenge with a move that does not evade highs or crush highs, afterwards they'll get counter hit launched by the second. The entire string will not be a natural combo, but if the second hit connects, then the third hit cannot be challenged in any way, and if the second hit is blocked, you need to use something that is faster than 10 frames, as something the move will trade with 10 frames. Every character except for the bears can sidestep right at the final hit if they block the second hit, and smaller characters, generally female characters, can sidestep it in either directions, but sidestep right is the most consistent way. You can use this to bait different characters, and some characters will have just easy options they can use to get through it, regardless of if they want to step or not. The move itself has only a little bit of application in my opinion, but the first hit can be used to pester the opponent well, as it tracks well on its own and has very good range, being pretty much a generic down 3. And with the follow-ups after it, people have to really question whether they want to punish it or not. The entire string can be used after a sidestep 1+2 for a relatively easy pickup for good damage, if you are worried about going for the less consistent or the more challenging but higher reward options. The string, the main use I would say for it is really to use as a wall break. So not a wall break, a floor break, especially once you've got them to the wall. The combos are a bit finicky away from the wall in my opinion, but they do work. Clearly I'm not too familiar with them myself. But at the wall it's the same as doing down forward 3-2 1+4, same damage, however, or roughly the same damage, however it's more consistent. So that would be the main use for Easy Prey in my opinion, unless you've figured out it's an opponent that does not know what to do against it. What do you guys think of Easy Prey? Is it a move that you use much, or is it a move that you kind of just forget it exists because it doesn't have much application outside of the wall? Please comment below what you think of this move and how you use it. I'd love to hear. Please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more content. See you next time.
You win.
What's done is done.